It is, in fact, a stream. You are not mistaken. Your eyes do not deceive you. Oh, Koyuki. How's it going, Case? You going to Louisville? Probably should do sealed, but I'm not gonna. The thing is, like, if it were a sealed GP, I would do sealed. But it's team sealed, so even doing sealed practice isn't really good enough. Like, it's really not the same anyway. So I might as well draft because it's way more fun, and all I'm getting out of it is, like, card and format familiarity. Huh. Gotta Reach Sanctum is an interesting card. It's... Hey, they fixed the land. The land's on the bottom now. That's nice. Glad they heard our complaints about that. This thing's real good with madness. Sup, hype. I still haven't updated the graphics. It's fun, hater! 21 months. My god. If your subscription was a person and also months were years, it would be able to drink. A bit of a stretch, but thank you so much for the continued support. I think I just Ruthless Disposal here, as much as I want to take the Guy Reach Sanctum. Dude, my Arcanines, I went to match up against the gym today, and the, ooh, Selfless Spirit, is that worth anything? It's also just a legit card. And the gym was like, a Bug Pokemon, a Grass Pokemon, a Snorlax, and an Execute. And it was like Victory Bell, Snorlax, Execute. Pinsir was the first one, and so I like go to fight the gym, and my lineup is just 6 busted Arcanines. It's like, all right, this will probably do. Some I would say we got there, but some may argue, and they would be right too. Flea Hastings asks, could you share with us the struggle of finding a box nearly large enough to fit you in your planeswalking video? Yeah, actually, I could. Ooh, Spreading Flames. It's kind of a cool card. I don't think I've seen that one cast yet. The problem is red wants to be pretty aggressive and or madness based. Yeah, I mean, can't beat water Pokemon to save my life. Yeah, I just bought a TV, threw the TV away. Take this thing. A lot of good red, though. Ooh. This thing is real nice. The Outrider's really good, but I'm not even sure I'm white yet, and white-black is not really great, and also I don't have any other humans yet. I'm just gonna take the Elite. Yeah, my mom shows off her fucking, like, 5 Gyarados and 2 Snorlaxes and shit. All I have is Arcanines and Vaporeons. Well, we could go big. Or we could just take the Cathar and draft like a kind of normal black-white deck. I think if we end up black-white, missing out on the Cathar isn't going to be the end of the world, but if we end up blue-black, then I'm really going to want this behemoth. What's up, the question? What? This is not a behemoth. Excuse me, what? That's upsetting. Moto, please. Sigh. I think we're probably white now, which means I should take this thing because it's great in black-white. It's like one of the reasons to go black-white because a lot of the black removals enchantments. Wow, that's pretty late. This card is like great. Madness Vampire or Dawn Griff? Probably just Dawn Griff. These are pretty sweet zombies. I bet I can get a recruitment later, though. Whereas if I want to play this thing, these are kind of harder to get. If I end up with a lot of delirium stuff. Take this thing. Guess this. Ooh. This is more likely to be real, I think. Find sideboard card. I wonder if we had taken that other thing, if our, like, what would we have taken out of this pack? And this pack? Could we have ended up blue? I don't think so. So we didn't really miss out, I guess. But, even though it's multicolor, so it's more likely to wheel, I think this is one that tends not to wheel. And I think we can make it work. Oath of Liliana. Well, I think I have to take this thing. I would certainly play the Oath. If I find a way, if I have like an Angelic Purge or something. Oh wait, no, this only gets auras, right? Or an equipment. Yeah. There was also Graph Rats in the pack we opened. Rojo. The Stromkirk Occultist is great, but obviously nowhere near us. Guess we just take this thing. pretty medium. Wish that cleaver wasn't so goddamn much to equip. Sub-hype. Oh my god, it's the Batter Skull with the 38-monther. The champion of AJ Stream subs. How's it going, my friend? Thank you for the continued support. That is a hell of a lot of picks. Well, this was one of the sacrifice outlet things I was talking about earlier. But it doesn't really work now. I think my top end and removal is looking pretty good. I think I'd rather just have the 2-drop. Helps if we get any madness stuff. And Campaign of Vengeance doesn't stack very well. Get another Scavengers. Pretty late Incendiary Flow and Stitchwing. I wonder if in Team Sealed you can open enough take inventories to make it worth it. How many would you need to play? Like 4? 3 maybe? I would definitely play 4 and I might play 3. Oops. Ooh, Legacy Infect. You mean in case top gets axed? It's probably a good call. Although, if top doesn't get axed, that means it's likely that Infect is a good deck to be playing, since it does well against Miracles. I wonder if this is doable in this deck. I'm probably supposed to just take this one. Yeah, okay. Could add 2 of these. Take a Dawn Griff, though. I don't feel bad about having so many 3-drops since we have no 4s. Also, this isn't really a 3-drop. Providence. No thank you. Just gonna take the 2-drop. We already have 2 Scavengers. Pretty straightforward. Another 2-drop. Could take the Weirded Vampire, which is not only a 4-drop, but also can be a 3-drop with the Dragoon. But I'd rather just have the 2-drop, I think. There's a fly in my room. What do you want? Meh. Could be useful. Okay. I don't think I play it. I don't really need a repel. So I'd rather not let somebody else maybe think about playing it behind me. Take all my black-white dorks. This is very different than most black-white decks I draft in this format. There's no real tribalness to it. There's not. It's not super controlling or super aggro. It's not flyers. It's not madness. It's just like efficient creatures, I guess, and some good removal in top end. Thing in the ice. Is that worth anything? With Recruiter, you can trim on some of the 4s in your deck. What's Recruiter? Oh, you're talking about Legacy. Sorry. Tooth Collector's pretty sweet. Don't know how often we're going to get Delirium, though. I could put a Terrarion if I really want to. But I think it's the pick either way. Thing in the Ice is only $1, so... there you go. Skeleton, I guess? I don't really have anything to do with it. Peace of Mind? Don't think these elites are very good. These things? Strong disagree. It's like a 4/4 for 3. And then late game it's just absurd. Like it's not the 3-drop that you play on 3 and expect to be good right away. Like I'll pull these into the 4-drop slot. This is a human, right? Yeah, so my only vampire lower on the curve than the Mentor is this thing. My only vampire, period. Guess it's Skelly Man's. Ooh. That is one of the better cards we could have hoped for. I mean, you don't have to see it to think about it, but we will obviously see. But, like, if they're good or bad here shouldn't necessarily decide in your mind whether they're good or not. That's just being results-oriented. Ding. Little anti-synergy with the elites, but pretty good with the, this thing. Oh, it's cast? Damn. Still a good card. And literally nothing else for us. Eerie Interlude, not really for us. The Vessel can help us get to Delirium and is good with the campaign. Sure. Go with the Borrowed Grace also, obviously. Ooh, I kind of want that land, but Rancid Rats is nice. It's a zombie, it's a creature that trades off. Pretty much ideal. That's probably our deck, unless we can upgrade something else in the last few picks. Like the Foul Bloods, maybe. Ooh, Unruly Mob. That might be good. Probably Puncturing Light. I didn't even see it at first. Deciding between like Ghoul and Vessel for the sideboard. Like you don't need to work to make your cards good. Like that's not the sign of a good card. Like how much better do you think a 3-drop needs to be? Like it's a 1/1 instead of a 2/3? And then it's a 2/2 instead of a 2/3? And then later on it's a 6/6 instead of a 2/3? This thing's actually pretty playable. I don't think we're going to need it in this deck, but you never know. Ooh. I actually like this card. Hey, we got our land. Well, they fixed the land thing, but this pop-up thing closing the draft is also still a thing. Quiet, children. So as it turns out, I don't think we play campaign. We have enough, like, Grindhouse and Evasion that I don't think it's necessary. It's a great sideboard card, but I'm not going to main deck it. This is the worst 3-drop because we have literally nothing to get back with it. Did I want to play the Terrarion? The Delirium on this is like a good bonus, but not needed. Kind of same with this. What was the other Delirium card we got? Oh, the Tooth Collector? Was that it? I think that's it. I don't know. The deck is interesting. Certainly interesting. Are you zombie rats or just rats? Just rats. We have these two, this thing, and this thing. I knew there was one more. It's like the worst skeleton I've ever seen. It's one of my favorite cards, and it's just does nothing in this deck. Literally Dragoon, give Dragoon flying over and over. It's the only thing I have to do with it. It's something I can throw away to this. Pretty sure it's still worth playing. Kind of need my evasion. So I guess I have to cut like this thing. Although this is a zombie, isn't it? Interessante. Vessel's not cuttable, is it? I mean, this has got to be my worst 2-drop. And I think I like my 3-drops more. Flying Shield Mate's good. The Elites are good. Tooth Collector's obviously good. Colossus is busted, and Foul Bloods is just an enabler for those. I don't like cutting Mob because I think it's good in this deck. But I also already have a lot of that effect of, like, if my creatures are trading, then I look good. Like, I'm probably in a good spot. That's the type of game that Unruly Mob is good in, and I already have, like, 3 or 4 cards that work in exactly that type of game state. So I'm okay cutting it, I guess. Ugh, I at least talk myself into it. Is this Drew? I'm gonna Facebook him. Subhype! 2 months from Austin. Thank you very much. You have way more than 2 months, just not sequentially. But I appreciate it. I forgot I was using my Wizarding Cup. My magical goblet. Ooh. Sweet, it is Drew. Bum, ba-da-da. What? Why can't I? There we go. Bang. What is that graphic? Weird. Oh, that's my desktop background showing through? That's funny. I know it does that with other programs, like other windows that pop up in front, but the fact that it does it with its own internal window is interesting, to say the least. So, Drew mulliganed to 5, and we mulliganed into an uncastable. Hey, never mind. Scratch that. I think our deck is good against black. I think our deck is really bad against red, so I'm happy that that is not what we are facing. Noose Constrictor is busted, though. Okay. This game's gonna be weird for a while. We didn't get madness on end step, that's good. Autumnal gloom. Fair enough. It's a pretty good draw. Even though this thing has reach, it's just like more important that it stays in play. Happily trade my purebloods for two things here, especially with scavengers in play. Just trades it off, so now the Dawn-Gryph is free to roam the skies. Rancid Rats is going to be on D duty for this thing for a while. Beginning of your end step. Ooh, grapple, that's cool. Jeez, big pigs. Watcher in the web, big pig. Gisa's bidding. Can't get that one back. I assume the default play was going to be Noose Constrictor and cast it. But Watcher in the web looks pretty attractive on this board. This will also be Delirium. Sorcery, instant, land creature. Yep, did take the spider. Pretty standard, pretty expected there, I think. Doesn't really do anything yet. Biggest piggest. Borborygnos is a beast though, right? Ooh. Yes! What a blowout! Give him the colon D. I actually thought that when I drew this, I was like, is there a way that this thing could get, like, tooth collected and I could... Can't really get through... I can get through for one, though, because, like, this thing clearly is just scared of the rat, so it probably doesn't want to attack into, like, Shieldmate Scavengers either. I suppose I can just wait, though. Like, getting 1 point in right now isn't going to matter as much as maybe leaving my Scavenger around so I can draw my Graph Rats. No plays. You missing a third color? What's going on over there? Oh, like it's certain death this spider instead of attacking with the Dawn-Gryph. I feel like this certain death is going to be important, but maybe killing my opponent quickly is more important. Like having no plays on 5 mana. More than a little scary. Let's try and get him dead. Still don't think Skull gets in. Yeah, it's definitely tempting to hold a certain death, but I feel like I have an advantage now and that I should press it because I don't think things get better for me from here. Perfect. I had to use a Prey Upon on Dawngryff. It's pretty ideal. Hey! So what do? Haste Menace? It's pretty good. It's pretty good, you guys. Winner! Winner! So, black, green, delirium, maybe madness sub-themes. The spider and the noose constrictor makes the flyers a lot less attractive. Goes all the way up to Big Pig too. Combining cards and dueling on motorcycles. Vroom, vroom. I think this is a fine setup against them. I think, like, I was thinking about the fatty. Yeah. Leech. I was thinking about that too. Cutting like this thing. Try this. Well, I sure wish it was a 2-drop now. We're on the play, which is smart of our opponent. It's possible I should have boarded this out. The games aren't conducive to it being good. I think I want to keep this though. Has my colors. My opponent's not really threatening to kill me fast, and I have 2 of my most important cards in the matchup. I have a lot of 3-drops in this deck, so I'm not really, like, afraid of just missing a drop. If I could draw a 2-drop into a 3-drop, that would be pretty ideal. Forest, not swamp. 5-drop. God, that mongrel. 3-drop. That works. I don't think he has neg1 kicker or escalate, because he would have led with swamp if he did. I'll block the shit out of this mongrel too. Don't even think about it. Oh, I drew my 2-drop a little later than originally planned. Remember Lucas Henkel. I remember a Lucas, but I don't remember. I couldn't, like, pick him out of a crowd. Ah, there was a splash. As I suspected. Also, grapple only getting a forest is probably good for us. Thraben Garguilo. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just a completely different game. It's a lot closer to Hearthstone than it is to Magic, the Pokemon TCG. Couple of options here. The splash land, the emerge thing, or just the dude. Took the splash land. Alright. And then didn't play it. Odd. Unfortunate. Land. Daddy's home. Oh, wait. Attack first, maybe. Yeah, alright. What's up, Dookie? Long time no see, indeed. How are you, my friend? Has he been drinking? Talking about me? Not recently. This is legitimately how I am. I have some adult root beers in the fridge though, which is sweet. Ba-bam! With the sub. Wrote a bit about stock mana and eternal in my article tomorrow. Hope I do the theory justice. Awesome. Well, thank you for the sub and the respect, I guess I would call it. The Splashland came down. I saw your message asking about it, but I didn't get time to read it, obviously, or I would have responded. So we didn't get this thing certain death. So that bodes well. Oh. Daddy's home and he's been drinking. Yeah, not as big of a fan of the implied drunken physical abuse, the domestic violence aspect of that. I say it in 24's voice from, I almost said Adventure Time, of Venture Bros. Daddy's home. Do it to it. I think getting in with the rat is pretty important here. Because between the borrowed grace damage and the certain death damage, it adds up in a way that it makes the rat lethal the turn after. If that makes sense. Oh, word, Tukey. Congrats. Congrats and re-welcome. Yeah, the Invisicup gets me every time. Because I just forget about it. I just have like 6 of these cups, so I use them all the time. And then I stream and I blast a hole through my throat. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh. Take damage. Panda, I have not, thankfully. Although I heard of someone else hearing from him over the summer, which was a humorous thing to happen. All hail the Invisicup. More grapples. Not grape apples, but rather teddy bear stealing tentacled monsters. Well, milled the certain death that we were afraid of. Into the horde swarm makes some chumpers. Yeah, that's what they have to take, obviously. I say they, even though I know my opponent. I'm getting better, getting into the habit of that, so much so that it's hard to get back out of it. Yep, it's just a green screen with a green cup and green liquid. I'm drinking like Mountain Breeze or whatever, the generic Mountain Dew, out of a green cup with a green screen. The funniest green screen mishap, or I guess like thing that happens. Hold on, let me figure out this attack. It's probably just Necropod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. They can actually kill it through the borrowed grace, so I have to certain death the 4/4 and then attack. There's nothing wrong with it. I just find it funny that I've gotten into the habit so much that even when I know my male opponent in person, I still use they. Yeah, it was a pretty bad typo. I have 2 green shirts. I've just never I've actually had to like change to stream because I was wearing one, but I've never actually done it. Oh, I'm glad you appreciated it. I should link it, actually. I always forget to get the Newmont links. Here it is. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 da. Oh, absolutely. You are not lying about that. Service. Yeah, the sideboarded fatty. I wanted to do it and wasn't sure on pulling the trigger, and then like last second was like, yeah, this is probably right. It is working out famously. Sign order of blockers. He's just transforming it. 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, but do it like this. Right? Right. Yeah. Here's that link. Sorry, I got distracted with the game I'm playing. Transformation complete. Pump you up. Bang. That borrowed grace from the opening hand was, finally did its duty. Finally pulled a little goddamn weight. Game! GG Drew. What's with your mana theorist? Every time I wasn't accepting Twitter and stuff. It's from years ago, but it's called stock mana. I'll type it in the chat. Stock mana. The first piece on it was for TCG players 6 years ago, and the second piece was for, and then the second and third piece were for Star City. The second piece is like stock mana continued, and then the third piece isn't about stock mana specifically, although it talks about it a lot, and it's called The Importance of Theory, I think. Something like that. The Importance of Theory. Or The Purpose of Theory, maybe. Something like that. If you Google them, I'm sure they'll come up. Just stock mana, AJ Soccer, it'll come up. Yeah, well, I don't think I'm technically sponsored by them anymore, but I left their stuff up because I like their company, and I'm probably going to start doing videos for them again if they'll have me soon. but I had to stop for a while. I wasn't streaming anymore, and I had to do a bunch of other things with my time, so I couldn't record modern videos. That's what I was doing for them, was a modern video series. So it's been like 3 months, but I'll probably get back into it. I'll have to shoot them an email after Louisville. But Bam has them ready to go. Reintroducing stock. Oh, the first 2 were for TCG Player. The theory of stock mana explained. Oh, and then I did reintroducing. This is just sort of retreading. Actually, I think reintroducing is probably the one you should read instead of the original. The original, it was kind of bungled in my head. And then the one after that is... Here, can I go to my own... Here we go. One of my first articles when I came back to Star City. I suppose I could just like do this on stream so that you're not looking at completely nothing. Pondering Brainstorm. Hey, there's an article. I have 4 comments. So for all these old ones, they like took them down, or they were in forums before they had Facebook comments. It was all forums. So the fact that there's 4 comments means people went back and read these. Yeah, years after. 2016. Look at that. Oh, that's you. That's funny. Yeah, no, the forum when it came out had, you know, like 100 comments or whatever, but they killed the forums. Shadow Puppet Theater. Oh man. There's some absurd articles. Here it is. Yeah, Purpose of Theory. So I would say in the see, first sentence, I talk about stock mana. I would say in the for students of, you know, stock mana, this is the 4th installment. But again, that was the 4th installment, March 2010. So, quite a while ago. Yeah, not only did they not take it down, they reprinted one of them without my permission, which is something I'm not too happy about. Because I have, in all of my like contracts and deals with websites, I own all of my content. That's like something that is very unique to me. I think there's only a couple other writers that do that, and I think most sites don't like that. But that is something that is a must for me. So, yeah. So by republishing something of mine without my permission, they did not have the right to do that. But I'm not gonna, you know, I can't do anything about it. But it's an interesting thing. Subsonic Condom.